Ever get the feeling like there's just more out there, like stuff we don't see or maybe aren't supposed to see?
I think we all have those moments, right? When you stumble upon something that just makes you question everything.
Right. Okay, so get this. I found this website, Infinity Explorers.
Okay.
It's got everything from like alien encounters, right,
Okay.
to mysterious historical texts.
Uh-huh.
It's like a rabbit hole of weirdness, but it's fascinating weirdness.
Well, that's quite a mix. So what kind of stuff are we talking about here? Give me some examples. What's catching your eye?
Oh, okay. Where do I even begin? Okay, so there's this article about the alien abduction of Krista Tilton.
Okay.
It mentions like a hidden underground military base
Wow.
and strange people in cells.
Okay, that's getting pretty wild.
Then there's one about Neil Armstrong,
Okay.
but it's not about the moon landing.
Right.
This is about Neil Armstrong's alien expedition to a cave in Ecuador.
Hold on. Neil Armstrong. Like the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, the one and only.
That's a curveball I wasn't expecting.
I know. I mean, how do we go from the moon to a mysterious cave in Ecuador? It's just it's a lot to unpack.
It really is. It seems like this Infinity Explorers website is quite the collection of the strange and mysterious.
It is. And the thing is, it also has an article about the benefits of drinking chai tea.
Chai tea.
Yeah, chai tea. It's such a strange mix.
Wow. So we've got alien abductions, secret expeditions, and the joys of chai all in one place.
Right. So I think this website is, well, it's kind of perfect for a deep dive.
I think you're absolutely right. Let's dive in and see what we can uncover.
So I guess we have to start with the aliens, right?
Seems like a good place to start, yeah.
So Krista Tilton, right? The alien abduction of Krista Tilton. Her story, it's like something out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, and maybe this is what makes it so compelling, but it's not that different from a lot of other alien abduction stories.
You're right. There are actually a lot of common threads in these narratives. You often hear about missing time, encounters with beings who perform medical procedures, even feelings of paralysis.
I've heard about that, the paralysis thing.
Right. And it's not just a recent phenomenon either. These types of stories, they've been around for decades. People from all over the world report these kinds of experiences.
So what do you think is going on? Why do these stories resonate with so many people?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It could be a yearning for something beyond the ordinary. Maybe it's a way to grapple with the unknown. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something more to it.
You think?
Honestly, I don't know. But there are some theories out there. Some researchers suggest these experiences could be linked to sleep paralysis.
Oh, I've heard of that. You wake up and you can't move.
Exactly. And it's often accompanied by hallucinations. So it's possible that some of these abduction stories, they could stem from that kind of experience.
That's a pretty reasonable explanation, I guess.
There's also the power of suggestion. You know, when we're exposed to certain ideas or stories, it can influence our perceptions, even our memories. So maybe some of these abduction accounts, they're influenced by what people have already heard or read about aliens.
Interesting. Okay, well, speaking of aliens, there's another article that really caught my eye.
Okay, what's that?
It's the one about the moon.
The moon.
Yeah, this article claims that, well, it claims that reptilians brought the moon to Earth.
Reptilians brought the moon to Earth. Okay, now that's definitely out there.
It is, right.
Yeah.
But it's not just this one website. There are all sorts of theories about the moon. It's like a magnet for conspiracy theories.
That's true. The moon has always held a kind of fascination for us. I mean, it's this big, bright object in the sky. We don't fully understand its origins.
Right. And when there are gaps in our knowledge, well, that's when conspiracy theories tend to flourish.
They fill in the blanks with their own narratives. They often feed on mistrust of official explanations. It's like a modern mythology, in a way.
Yeah, I like that. It's like a reflection of our anxieties and maybe our desires, too, in a world that feels increasingly unpredictable.
Right. These stories, even the ones that seem totally outlandish, they can tap into something deeper, you know? Something about the human psyche.
So maybe even these conspiracy theories, they can be, I don't know, maybe they can be valuable in some way.
I think so. They can reveal our need to make sense of things, to find patterns and explanations, even when things are uncertain.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from aliens and moon conspiracies, there's another article on Infinity Explorers that I thought we could dive into.
Okay, fire away. What's next?
The Hidden Book of Giants.
The Hidden Book of Giants.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be a story that was banned from the Bible.
A story banned from the Bible? That's pretty intriguing.
I know. It makes you wonder, right? What kind of secrets are they hiding? Is there like a whole secret library of biblical tales we've never heard?
Well, not exactly a secret library, but there are texts out there, ancient texts, that were considered for inclusion in the Bible, but ultimately didn't make the cut.
So like lost chapters or something.
Kind of. We call them apocryphal texts. They offer different perspectives, different narratives, but the decision of what to include in the Bible, well, that was ultimately a matter of religious authority and interpretation.
So the Bible we have today, it's just one version of the story, right?
In a way, yes. It's the version that was chosen to be the official canon.
Fascinating. Okay, so from giants in the Bible, we go to another kind of giant, a giant of history.
Okay, who are we talking about now?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong again. He seems to be popping up a lot on this website.
Right. So remember that article I mentioned about his supposed alien expedition?
To the cave in Ecuador?
Yeah, to the Cuello de los Tallos. Apparently, it's a real cave system known for its unique geology. And it's a place that's attracted a lot of explorers and researchers over the years.
I can see why. A mysterious cave. It's like something out of an adventure novel.
Right. There are all sorts of rumors about hidden chambers and ancient artifacts. And according to this article, Neil Armstrong was interested in exploring it.
That's pretty interesting. But do we know if he actually went there?
Well, that's the thing. There's no real evidence to support that he was on an alien expedition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Armstrong is a big proponent of exploration, but this particular story might be more fiction than fact.
It wouldn't be the first time a famous figure gets caught up in rumors and speculation. It's a reminder that sometimes the line between fact and fiction can be blurry.
So true. Okay, so we've covered aliens, the moon, giants, and Neil Armstrong's adventures. Now, I want to talk about something that feels less like a fringe theory and more like a genuine cosmic mystery.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
The Great Attractor.
The Great Attractor. I've heard that term before, but I'm not sure I fully understand it.
Neither do I, really.
Yeah.
But basically, it's this region of space, right?
Okay.
And it has this massive gravitational pull.
Gravitational pull, like a black hole.
It's similar, I think, but it's on a much larger scale. We're talking about galaxies being drawn towards it, including our own Milky Way.
Wow, that's incredible. So if it's pulling in galaxies, it must be huge.
Enormous.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the really weird thing. It's located in this part of space that's obscured by dust and gas.
So we can't see it directly.
Not easily. It's like there's this massive invisible force out there tugging at everything. It's both humbling and kind of terrifying, don't you think?
It definitely puts things into perspective. We like to think we're in control, but then you learn about something like the Great Attractor, and you realize there are forces out there that are so far beyond our understanding.
I know, right? It's a good reminder of how much we still don't know about the universe.
And how much there is left to discover.
Okay, so after all that cosmic pondering, I think it's time for something a little more down to earth.
Sounds good to me. Where are we going?
Remember that article about chai tea?
The one on Infinity Explorers?
Yeah, it might seem a little out of place on a website that's all about aliens and mysterious forces.
It's definitely changed pace.
But I thought it was kind of cool.
Right.
It's a reminder that even amidst all the strangeness and the unknown, there's still room for simple pleasures.
I like that. And chai is more than just a simple pleasure, you know? It's a cultural tradition.
Especially in India, right?
Yeah. It's a symbol of hospitality, a way to connect with others. It's something you share with friends and family.
And it's delicious. But it's not just about the taste. It also has some health benefits.
You're right. A lot of the ingredients in chai, like ginger, cardamom, cloves, they have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
So it's good for the body and the soul.
Exactly. It's a nice reminder that sometimes the most powerful things in life are the simple things.
So on today's deep dive, we went from alien abductions and hidden biblical texts to a cosmic enigma and a comforting cup of chai.
What a journey.
It just goes to show you there's always something new to discover, whether it's out there in the vastness of space or right here in our everyday lives.
And it leaves us with a lot to think about. How do we make sense of a world where the line between fact and fiction can be so blurry?
Good question. What do you think?
I think it starts with curiosity, a willingness to ask questions and explore different perspectives. And of course, a healthy dose of critical thinking never hurts.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Infinity Explorers.
My pleasure.
And if you're looking for a dose of the strange and wonderful, be sure to check out Infinity Explorers for yourself. You never know what you might find.
I think that's good advice.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.